Bom dia. My name is Jason Frank. I'm an instructional designer from Santa Fe College in Gainesville, Florida. As an instructional designer, what I do is I help our faculty to design online instruction so that it helps our students to learn best. I also work with departments on campus to provide professional development or training for our faculty, both in technology and education and in effective pedagogies. It's been really a great experience to be here. I've been in Sao Paulo now for a little over a week. We're leaving tomorrow, and I am really going to miss the friends that we've made and the experiences that I've had. It's been a wonderful opportunity to learn from all of you and to learn about the ways in which you're approaching online education and using effective pedagogies with your students. In particular, I was really struck as I attended the conference on accessibility and distance education in Presidente Prudente last week by the fierce passion that educators here have for reaching all students and for being so student-centered in their approach. I was also really struck by the need for real vision and leadership. These things, distance education and accessibility, these are not simple or easy problems to solve. These are complicated, large issues that require the work of many talented people in order to meet the needs of the students. And to have so many people involved in such a worthwhile project or endeavor requires real vision and leadership. And that's one of the things that really struck me here is I see a sense of leadership, a sense of organization, a sense of vision that is guiding and coordinating the efforts of all of these people. There are many, many moving parts that go into creating these courses, and they're highly coordinated and driven. That vision and leadership is necessary not only to coordinate from a logistical level, but it's also so necessary to lead with passion, to have a sense of ownership, so that idea of owning these problems, that idea of being passionate about meeting the needs of these online students and these students with disabilities is contagious. And I see it reflected in all of the people at all levels that I've gotten to work with, this passion, this dedication, this excitement to help students. And for me, I'm going back to my college truly inspired to commit even more to helping our faculty and helping our institution meet these challenges head on with real passion and with real vision. I've been particularly impressed at the way that you've used the technology and the resources available to you. Again, it's been a real lesson to me in prioritizing how we should go about education. In many institutions in the U.S., we become a little preoccupied with some of the trappings of an educational environment. We think about the class, the desks in the classroom, or the computers that we have, or the technology that we have access to. We like to have new and fancy buildings on our campuses, and when this happens, sometimes we lose sight of the student. And one of the things that I've seen, again and again, as I've been attending workshops and been meeting with all of you here, is this focus on the student, and this desire to make the most of whatever resources are available. So instead of being preoccupied with getting the latest technology, one of the things that I found here is a desire to get the most out of what you have available. As a designer, one of the central questions that we deal with is identifying the constraints of any learning environment or any learning situation. And then once you understand the constraints or the limits of that environment or situation, working very hard to maximize all of the resources within those constraints. And I see that. I see a lot of creativity, I see a lot of excitement, and I see people literally rising to the challenge. I have been in environments where there have been unlimited resources, and one of the problems of unlimited resources from a technological or logistical standpoint is that when you have more, you tend to create less. The more resources at our disposal, the less need there is to be really creative and to be really efficient with what you have. So I see in this institution a real desire to be creative, a real initiative to innovate in really exciting and interesting ways. Now, one of the things that I work really hard at helping my faculty to understand is the role of technology in education. A lot of times people will look to technology as a solution. They will see the smartphones or the computers or even the internet as a way to solve instructional problems, as a way to solve learning problems. And it's not. I have yet to see a technology that acts as a magic bullet, a technology that will fix any problems that you have with students or with teachers or with courses in general. Technology effectively used is a tool. And as a tool, it can amplify. It can amplify both the good and the bad. If you are a good instructor and using sound pedagogical principles, technology can amplify that. It can allow you to reach more people. It can allow you to stretch yourself across vast distances to improve that. However, if you are a bad teacher, if you use really poor pedagogical practices, technology will also amplify that. The scale is increased, and so we need to be really careful when we look at technology and its role in education, and that we're doing it very intelligently. And one of the things that I've been very impressed at Unesp is how deliberate and thoughtful people at all levels of this institution are when it comes to incorporating technology into the classroom and into the lives of your students. One of the things that I wanted to talk a little bit about as an instructional designer, one of the things that I feel like I bring to our team at Santa Fe College in Gainesville is the need to personalize ourselves as individuals to the people that we're working with. As a trainer, as a person who does a lot of professional development with our faculty, one of the things that I try to do is create relationships with the other faculty. And one way that I try to create that relationship is by letting faculty know who I am outside of my role as an instructional designer. I try to incorporate some of my passions or some of my likes, some of my hobbies into the workshops that I give or into the trainings that I create, so that when they're listening to me, they're not just seeing me as an instructional designer without personality, but they're seeing me as a real person. They're seeing me as Jason Frank. Sometimes I share a little bit about my family and some of the things that my kids are doing. I talk about my collection of Legos, which are set up above my desk in my office, where I collect these little toys, and share some of those things with faculty, and they get a kick out of it. It humanizes and makes things a little bit fun. I talk about my love of Star Wars and other things that they might be able to relate to create those relationships. And it's really important when working with faculty that they too understand that need to create relationships between themselves and the students. Even when separated by distance or separated by time, those relationships are key in any learning. And if we don't work hard to develop those relationships and foster that communication between faculty and students in an online environment, then what happens is the online class becomes more like a publication, a book, a magazine, a newsletter that you're sending out into the world. But when you can create a relationship and an exchange between faculty and students, these relationships literally foster learning. As students feel like they know you and that you know them, they are more motivated to invest themselves in their learning and in their growth. When they turn in assignments because they know you, they will put more work into it because what you give back to them will really matter. So anything that faculty can do to foster those relationships in a real and genuine way, and there are lots of strategies and lots of techniques out there to use, but the most important thing when fostering relationships with students is that the faculty be sincere in their desire to know their students, be sincere in their desire for their students' success. Because students can feel that and they can see that. And I've seen teachers go through the motions and try to pretend that they care, and it never works. Even no matter how good the technique is, it never works unless there is a sincere desire in their hearts for their students to succeed and to be well. I have sincerely loved my time here with all of you, and I go back inspired and committed to do better at what I do and to help others be better at what they do. My hope is that the relationships that we've built here, the friendships that we've made, will continue, and that we will continue to share and to exchange and to continue to learn from one another and to continue to be inspired by each other. I look forward to seeing what you do with these great people and this great work. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to be here. It has been absolutely wonderful.